Hello everyone, welcome back to Question Everything TV. I'm your host, Akashik, and today we will be diving headfirst into one of the greatest Hindu texts ever written, the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, which means literally Song unto the Lord, was written approximately 5 to 900 BC and has been read by billions of people throughout the ages. It predates the Bible by over 2,000 years and has been a staple for Hindu religion. My goal in this video is to attempt to break the story down to you in a way that you've never heard it before, thereby making it relatable and digestible to any and everyone. I will do this in 2 stages. First, I will set the stage so that you understand the characters and what is happening in the story. Secondly, I will break down the story and dialogue so that it's very understandable. So, the story is set on the battlefield where the main character, Arjuna, is having a conversation with Krishna. Now, Krishna is the avatar of Brahma, which in Hindu is the supreme being. Krishna is Brahma manifested in flesh. Krishna was born from a virgin and... Wait. What? Isn't there another story in a different holy book that talks about God manifested in flesh and takes human form and was born of a virgin? Part 1. The foundation. The foundation of the Bhagavad Gita is this. There are 5 brothers whose father dies. Now, the father represents higher consciousness, and the 5 brothers represent aspects of your divine consciousness. The 5 brothers' names are Arjuna, he represents divine personality. Yudhishthira represents spirit mind. Bhima represents divine intellect, and Nahula represents love of goodness, and Sadavya, he represents love of truth. These brothers are referred to as the sons of Pandu. So, these 5 brothers lose or are separated from their father. The father has died. The father represents total harmony, both sides of the brain working together, the divine consciousness. So now the brothers are being raised by their uncle, who is known as the blind king. Now, the blind king represents your mind, the lower and dense aspect of consciousness. When your higher spirit nature is separated from the father, you are then led by your lower mind, human instincts, the blind king. On a side note, this is what it is meant in the Bible when Jesus makes the blind see. He opens them up to the Father, divine consciousness. Now, the blind king has 100 sons, all of which are material, and all of which you all know very well. Some of them are your best friends. To list a few, they are fear, deceit, lust, gluttony, anger, jealousy, greed, judgments, etc. These sons are called Kauravas, and they are, of course, favorites of the blind king. So, the sons have been raised in ignorance by the blind king. He can't show them the way. He's blind. It is a situation where literally the blind is leading the blind. This is mankind in its sleep state. So, you have 2 sides, the Pandavas, the light, and the Kauravas, the blind king's sons, which represent darkness. So the blind king gives the Pandavas some land. This is the analogy of getting stuff to pacify yourself. I want a mansion, a Bentley, gold, money, all material things, etc. So the 5 brothers are pacified. But then, one day, one of the blind king's sons by the name of Duryodhana, aka deceit, or the principal root called desire, tricks one of the brothers, Yudhishthira, spirit mind, into a gambling game. Deceit, or desire, gets the spirit mind to lose its rightful heritage in order to get more. Yudhishthira is tricked. Spirit mind loses the territory. However, later it is found out that Duryodhana cheated, but it's too late. The brothers are put into exile for 13 years. But while in exile, it is discovered by the brothers that they were cheated. So they go to the blind king and say to him, "We were deceived. We want what's rightfully ours back." The blind king refuses. Then enters a character named Sanjaya. He is the chariot driver for the blind king. He represents human instincts. He wants to get the brothers back on track, but he doesn't know how. And he is loyal to the blind king. So a war breaks out, a battle of light versus darkness, spirit versus flesh. In the Bible, this is called Armageddon. Now, the two sides face each other on the battlefield. It's called Kurukshetra. It symbolizes Dharma and Adharma. Dharma is nature of reality, and Adharma symbolizes disharmony with nature. Now, as the battle is about to begin, Arjuna surveys the battlefield and is overcome with sorrow. He starts to question things. You do the same thing. Why do I have to fight myself? Why do I have to give up my traditions? Why do I have to give up desire, ego, etc.? Why must I kill them? Why do I have to do this to become divine? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, now, Arjuna is on his chariot and he calls out to the divine Krishna, "Why must I kill my family?" Remember, the 100 sons are his cousins. He asks, "Why are they the enemy?" And to his surprise, Krishna responds. So Arjuna and Krishna are having a dialogue back and forth. But during their conversation, Sanjaya, the blind king's chariot driver, overhears them. Sanjaya runs back and tells the blind king everything. The blind king becomes furious. So then war breaks out for 18 days. Both sides have losses. However, in the end, all that's left is the Pandavas and Krishna. Everything else is dead. Fear, hate, greed, envy, all is gone. All that's left is divine consciousness. So that's part one. I've set the stage. You should have a grasp of the characters and the reason the battle is happening in the first place. So in part two, I will now explain the conversation of Arjuna and Krishna and the meaning behind it. So buckle your seatbelts and get some popcorn because you're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. I still can't believe there's another story with a virgin birth. What about the other stories? What about like Noah's Ark? Part two, the conversation. So now we are in Arjuna's chariot. Arjuna is basically having an anxiety attack. He feels guilty and he doesn't want to kill his cousins. He and Krishna go back and forth. So finally Krishna tells Arjuna, don't worry about killing his cousins because the soul never dies. Bodies die, but the soul does not. Krishna explains that life and death are illusions in the grand scheme of things and that the soul just transmigrates. That's the equivalent of you getting out of a broken down car and getting a new one. Krishna also reminds Arjuna that he was born in the warrior caste and it is his duty, his sacred duty, to fight. It is what he was born to do. This is the dilemma of mankind. Follow your dreams or fulfill your responsibility, even if you don't want to. Arjuna contemplates doing his duty poorly or do someone else's well. Krishna explains that duty isn't about personal gain, it's about cosmic order. Krishna then tells Arjuna that the real enemy is desire, the wanting of material things that does not fulfill you. He calls this the bondage of action. He tells Arjuna, you can't escape it if your every move is driven by wanting something in return. Arjuna remains in crisis. So on the battlefield, while Arjuna is having his panic attack, Krishna offers him a way out. He tells Arjuna to act without attachment. Krishna then tells Arjuna to focus on the action, his duty. Don't worry about the outcome. Stop caring about the outcome and do what he is supposed to do. Cut desire out by only focusing on the action. By doing this, desire is cut off. Now, this is true freedom. When rewards and outcomes don't matter, only the quality of your work. Krishna tells Arjuna about something called bhakti, or devotion. Not like a prayer or some bartering with a deity or a god. Krishna is talking about selfless devotion without thought of gain. He is telling Arjuna to give himself to something higher than himself. Krishna is trying to get Arjuna to devote his whole being to his duty, to the point where he no longer is a part of the equation, where you disappear into what you are meant to do and be. You vanish. Then, to give Arjuna a total understanding of cosmic order, Krishna reveals himself, his true self, as the whole of existence, as the supreme being Brahma. Arjuna sees every aspect of creation and destruction, every god, every mortal, life and death, and it terrifies him. Krishna is revealing to Arjuna his role and his duty as the creator and the destroyer. Krishna is all of time and matter. He shows Arjuna that all he thinks is important is nothing on the grand cosmic scale. Arjuna finally understands Krishna's message. Krishna is the universal all, creation, time, and death. Arjuna finally realizes he never had a choice. All things were already set in cosmic motion, and death was already going to happen. Arjuna understands he is just the instrument of cosmic will. He finally realizes his role is not to worry about the outcome, but to do his duty as the instrument. Krishna is telling you to fight because it's your cosmic role to play, and it was cosmic will long before you were born. In this revelation, Arjuna can now fight without fear and doubt. He understands that all he can do is play his part to the very best of his ability. Krishna has eliminated control. He has taken the ego and destroyed it. He has explained that your overthinking in your role in the grand scheme of things is nothing. Arjuna overcomes his meltdown. He knows this must be done in accordance with divine will, not his ego or desire. And it is the only way to make his way back to higher consciousness, his Father. This is the real challenge: to overcome the traps of desire and the 100 sons of the blind king and the physical world. This is the only way to gain access to your higher self. Only then can you truly be free. In conclusion, the Bhagavad Gita is a book dedicated to self-mastery and devotion. The 100 sons of the blind king are always there on the battlefield, inside you. But self-mastery and dedication to your duty will help you recognize their influences and help you overcome them every time. However, no one is saying it will be easy. Mankind is so hopelessly programmed to expect praise and reward. So hopelessly programmed to focus on the results that we lose sight of the process. Krishna's lesson to Arjuna is to act for the sake of action itself. Do the right thing just because it's right. Do your best just because you're supposed to, not for what you think might benefit you in the end. You cannot control everything, but you can do your part to the best of your ability. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you got something out of the video. I hope my explanation of the great book resonated with you in some way. If you like this type of content, I would be very grateful if you liked and subscribed. And until we meet again, namaste.